So what do we do in behavioral activation? Now, this is particularly, this is very helpful in cases where you are dealing with a client who has depression. With depression, it becomes very, very difficult for them to maintain their routine. Why? Because they're already being very hopeless, and they are not really looking at the positive side of life, and they have a very negative perspective towards whatever is lined up for future. So there is no motivation to do something, to even do things that they like. So they do not want to do anything. This as a result keeps reinforcing their feeling of depression. Now, what we can do here is, this is called the behavioral activation. Now, it is not the thought, but now we are trying to go with the behavioral plan. And this works beautifully with someone who has depression. First thing is about activity monitoring. So, a lot of times these people will tell you that I don't do anything and I don't feel like doing anything. I'm doing nothing right now. What you can do is, you can have this sheet. Okay, let me also tell you this. I have already passed all this to Healthy Minds team. Okay, so you will get all these, the record sheets and all the log and all of that. Whatever I'm showing you are in all miniature versions. You will get the entire form. Okay, so don't worry, you can use this later. So don't be in a hurry to note it down and all. Just hear it out how we do it. First thing that you do here is activity monitoring. So when your client comes and says like, I'm not doing anything, have the sheet ready with you. If you know this is a patient with depression, make sure you have this handy. Once you have this handy, what are we doing here? We have all the days. So this is more like, the timetable that we used to follow in school. It is something similar, or say it is exactly the same. And then you have all these 1 hour time slots on the left hand side. You can take a cue from your client. What time do you wake up? Okay, so maybe you wake up at 6 a.m. So from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, this is how you will create this entire day chart for this client. Now, you will ask your client to tell me, okay, so today is, say, Tuesday. Let's begin from Monday. Yesterday, what all did you do? What time did you wake up? So you're going to write it, at what time this client woke up. Later, what did you do? So maybe, I woke up at 7, but till 10 I did nothing. Okay, so does that mean you did not brush? No, of course I brushed. Okay, so what time did you brush? I brushed at, say, 8 o'clock. Okay, so now write it down. I brushed at 8 o'clock. So in that, not basically brushed at 8 o'clock, but the time slot that we have, 7 to 8, or say 8 to 9, brushing. Why are we doing this? Because with these patients, this is where the cognitive distortion of filtering will come in. Although they might be doing a lot of things, but they are not considering these activities. So when we start doing this, we are able to monitor, and we are able to reflect that to the client, that see, look, this is all that you were able to do in this week. So maybe there will be a lot of these time slots when they're actually doing nothing, they're just lying in the bed. That is fine. Now this is where you will want them to bring in the schedule. So what do you think you can do here? What different can you do here? Instead of just sleeping for, say, 4 hours, if you were sleeping, what else do you think we can do? Say you can sleep for 2 hours, and for rest of the 2 hours, what else can you do? Can you do water your plants, or just watch something on the television? Yeah, probably I can do that. All right, so make a note. If possible, ask your client to fill this up if they are ready to do it. Okay, because there are times with patients with depression, they do not even want to fill this up. Then you can do it for your client. But if they're ready to do it, please make them do this activity. Okay, because that gives them some motivation to go ahead and follow this. Then this is exactly how you will fill up for all the days, like the entire week. You're going to fill this up within the session. Like, say today is Tuesday and my client has come for the session at, say, 4 o'clock. So I will ask my client to write it down at 4. So 4 to 5 is my therapy session which is going on. And now at 5, what are you going to do next? So he's or she is going to write it down. So you are immediately going to, they are going to start with all the activities that they're going to do with. So the entire activation of this chart has to happen right from your therapy session. Okay, and yeah, so this is how we do it for patients who are diagnosed with depression. We call it behavioral activation. Okay, this is one of the tools, this is CBT tools that we use with them.